It's the SWP Disciple checking in. So I am really out in the sticks out here. I guess this is the town of Mono, about a half hour away from my cousin. So of course we have little family squabbles and stuff like that. So some years ago, they all intentionally bought homes apart from each other. So last time I was out here, August last year, my one cousin, we'll call her N, I didn't really see for this very reason, just because of distance, not because I didn't want to see her and stuff. So she's literally 2 hours away, or hour and 45 minutes away from my other cousin who I'm staying with. We'll call her S. But it's quite peaceful. It's nice. I turned the camera on a little bit after. There's this nice bridge that was over this very rustic, scenic area. You ever play Ninja Gaiden, the original one for Nintendo? There's that cutscene in the jungle where you're standing on the cliff and the music comes on. Like that. Those of you who know, you know. It's a famous cutscene. It's one of the earlier cutscenes back in the 8-bit era when systems could start to handle that almost like a cartoon interlude between the game. Ninja Gaiden is just a dope game anyway. But yeah, it kind of looked like that. Yeah, so we're out here in the sticks. This is to call this Toronto is to call, let's see, I'm in Springfield, so it's to call the Berkshires Springfield just because it's in Western Mass or something. Which of course, well, I shouldn't say of course, but the Berkshires, if you don't know, it's a very kind of a vacation rustic area in the upper Western Mass. Basically, culture-wise, it's more upstate New York than it's Massachusetts, and a lot of Hollywood has houses out there. I think Bill Cosby used to have a house out there, and Keanu Reeves and people like that. So it's one of those areas. It's even though it's out in the sticks, it's expensive to live out there. As a matter of fact, one of my buddies who when I was in law school, he was commuting from there Monday, Wednesdays in class, and he was driving an hour in from the Berkshires into Springfield to come to class. And of course classes end at 9:30, so he wasn't getting home until almost 11 at night. That's dedication. As it is, he's on pace to be our valedictorian. So I guess that kind of shows you that the type A-ness. Type A-ness, that is, not anus. But yeah, so it's quite peaceful. But yeah, that just shows you family dynamics. That's a GMC that I would drive. That's looks like a Denali, a 2500 HD, heavy duty. But as you can see, we're basically kind of on a mountainside. But yeah, it gives you a new appreciation though for Springfield, where everything is within 10 minutes of each other. I could not deal with this. Well, I don't know if I'm too far away to bend back and see it. There's a house basically an expanded cabin in the woods. I don't know if it caught it as I was driving down. Probably not, because it's off to the left, but it's pretty nice. But then as you can see, there's no other houses really. I mean, you can see that there's pathways, so there's behind the forest, there's probably houses there. But everything is just so far apart. Anyway, I feel much better. I slept in until about 2 today. I got in at about just before 5 a.m. and by the time I went to bed it was maybe 6:15 because I was so wired. But I feel good now. I'm still kind of sipping on a 5-hour energy. I got my OJ there from last night from Chick-fil-A, which I didn't drink. Of course, it's just cold enough at night, in the upper 20s or so, where I can just leave it in the car and it's it's in a refrigerator. One thing you'll notice about Canada, people drive a lot of American cars because a lot of the plants, for the big three, GM, Ford, Chrysler, are up here in Canada. So they kind of get it in the sense of support the local economy. So they buy a lot of American cars. I mean, you'll still see a fair amount of foreign cars, but you'll see a disproportionate amount of American cars up here. For me, for the most part, outside of a Corvette and some Cadillacs, it's pretty much only the trucks, American trucks, that I would really drive. But yeah, I caught up with my cousin S, this morning. Well, I mean, it wasn't this morning. It was 2 to about 4, and we caught up, which is really, really nice. And I forgot how much I enjoy her company. Just talking about the good old days and family time and what's been going on recently, and with the my 3 nieces and nephews, I guess you could call them, like her kids, and where things are. They're doing a lot better than I am up here. Like her house is like legitimately like $1 million home. But it's nice though. It's like, it feels like a nice like retreat to get away. As you know, with me, I'm like super chill as far as that goes. Like I live in basically a shack, and I'm, you know, for the time being, I'm fine with that. I, you know, no hate or jealousy in my heart. I want everybody to do well. But I bet you at night, because I'm not even seeing any street lights or anything, I bet you there's like a bunch of like bear and deer out here. It's funny, like, which I shouldn't be doing, like, you know, I was like on YouTube and not so much texting, but like on Instagram and kind of like doom scrolling, and apparently there's like this island like way up north in Norway, like in the, like basically the Arctic Circle. I think it's called Svanland or Svarsgard or something with an SV, like, you know how their words are written with like 2 A's or whatever, and SV, like, you know, combinations that you wouldn't get in English. And it's like an island of only about like 3,000 people, but they have polar bears, which of course, you know, the polar bears are really just in the Arctic regions of, like, you know, northern Eurasia and North America. And one guy was saying, like, every once in a while people will go kind of like outside the confines, because like basically there's like a compound, like all 3,000 people are pretty much in kind of like a nature preserve, and it's like a protected area, and like it's actually required that you carry a rifle up there. So not optional, it's required just because of like the polar bear, because like they don't like cull the population or anything like that, and like every once in a while somebody will get like mauled or whatever, which is pretty crazy. As you know, with polar bears, they're like engineered for death pretty much. They're like one of like few animals that will like kind of like stalk prey for fun and stuff like that or whatever, kind of like humans. But yeah, so I was getting a little education as I was driving up on my 7-hour drive. I have my AI glasses, Sakotas, but I haven't used them yet. I set them up like a couple of days ago and have the app going, so at some point I'm going to use them. I probably should have. I do have them with me. I probably should have put them on driving up here, but there's other opportunities. So I'm going to be up here for a few hours, like maybe not as long as I wanted to, because I didn't realize that the drive was basically 2 hours. But I'll be up here for probably 3 hours, and then we're gonna head back, and we're gonna go to like one of those like you know, Love Jones style like poetry lounges, me and my cousin, and probably have dinner there and chill. And then we'll figure out what we're gonna do tomorrow, and then I'm here until like Monday evening. It was gonna be Tuesday, but I have an important ENT appointment that I've been putting off for a while, and they're so booked that like if you cancel it, like you won't be able to get back in until December. Fully 9 months from now, so can't have that. I have like one of those first world problems where I get tons of PTO, 30 days, but I actually have a difficult time using it just because of logistics, and there's only 3 of us, and you got to schedule it, yada yada yada. Of course, the good thing is that I work from home, so like as long as it's like in the continental US, I could actually like plan like a getaway and then just kind of like work during the day and then, you know, party at night, if you will, whatever, which I'll kind of be doing at the end of the month. In 2 weeks, I'll be going to St. Louis, Missouri, and I'll be working a couple of those days, and then at night we'll hang out, see some of my Army friends, and a girl that I'm kind of talking to. We're trying to figure it out. I don't really know how this is going to work out with all the distance and everything, and so far so good. Obviously, my heart lies with that old situation, but at a certain point, you got to kind of get the ball moving if you want this family and stuff. But I don't know, God will work it out. But the most important thing right now is let's get back in school and get my mind right. But yeah, it's just my way of kind of updating you as to like what's going on and saying hello. And you can see it's just a long straightaway through in the middle of like literally nowhere, and I kind of like it. I can see why some people live out in the middle of nowhere. It's not for me, but I kind of get it. As this big Cadillac Escalade is pulling up on me in the background. But yeah, the Lord is faithful. Stay with me. God bless.